Introducing first, this man is a multiple Italian national champion. Also, this man is a second place finisher in the youth category in the EAF European Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Mattia Vezzola!
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mattia Vezzola. Before I announce his opponent, the original opponent of Mattia Vezzola could sadly not make it to the event because of personal issues. We will be awaiting him in the future. He's a beautiful, huge talent. Nemanja Milanovic, I hope you're watching at home. We're waiting for you in some of the next events. We needed to find a backup for this match, and I think these two guys know each other, already faced at the table. Mattia's opponent is a multiple Austrian national champion. Also, he is the winner of multiple cups all around his nation. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for the Eagle, Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi! Ladies and gentlemen, as already mentioned, Mattia should have originally a different opponent. We promoted it until the last moment like that. Very, very unfortunate. Some stuff happened and Nemanja Milanovic was not able to come, but Mattia, I think stylistically, did not get a different match when we look at like that. His original opponent is a low hand top roller, Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi, also a low hand top roller. Gabor, you faced him yourself. What do you have to say about this match, my friend?
Very interesting match. First of all, I really would like to say that I respect both these guys. One of them for taking on a last-minute opponent who he was not preparing against, and the other one is for taking on a challenge as a last-minute substitution, coming in without any preparation for today's event.
So big round of applause for Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the match today. He came to pull the tournament, and here he is on the big stage right now, ladies and gentlemen. Also, he had a match in the first Right Arm Wrestling League event. You can check that out on YouTube, but now let's shift the focus to this match. Gabor, what do you expect?
I expect, of course, a low hand top roll from Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi, which is his signature move. And Vezzola with a deep cup, trying to go sideways without any supination, pronation, just wrist flexion, side pressure. And let's see if that's what we're going to see. There's a wrist flexion, which is going to be, it seems to be sufficient to put the brakes onto Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi, but Oleksandr has a hook as well, which seems to be...
Ladies and gentlemen! First round for Austria's Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi. Who expected this one, ladies and gentlemen? Oleksandr has a 2 or 3 kilos advantage to Mattia, but Mattia, a guy who recently won the 110 kilo category at a beautiful competition in Coppa Italia, ladies and gentlemen. Now we see Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi coming out of nowhere and taking this first round. We know, Gabor, that Oleksandr starts out amazing.
He starts out amazing. He is like a dragster. He has 1 or 2 rounds which are deadly, and the hard part comes after him. After that for him, he sometimes gasses out and seems to lack endurance. I hope he's been working on it in the past few months, and if he did, then he has a good chance showing something similar as we saw in the first round, in the second and the third round as well. Mattia Vezzola is notorious for his endurance, so he probably wants it to be a long game, because every minute that passes is going to be making him the favorite for winning the match.
Gabor, you know what I find very interesting is that Oleksandr, when it comes down to hook, he can also do that. I mean, he kept his pronation, he dragged back and pulled a little bit something in between a top roll and a hook.
That was exactly the deciding factor, I think. They both seemed to got stuck in the middle of the table, at the center table, but the slight advantage was on Oleksandr's favor, because he already had his pronation intact. He was the one that had the higher hand due to his then we see a slip out, we go to the straps. So that deciding factor was the low hand top roll. The low hand top roll setup that he wanted to secure in the ready go, and that slight extra amount of side pressure that he had, which made him to be the winner of the first round, originated from that extra a little bit of pronation that he had due to his setup.
So for the people who are new to our sport, we have some in the building. So basically a guy like Mattia, who is pushing with his shoulder, cupping his wrist, the biggest counter to his style is a guy who drops his riser down and pulls with his back pressure, with his biceps back, with his brachioradialis rather. And this is exactly what Oleksandr did. But when he got turned, he kept on pulling back, attacking and going on to rotation. We will soon get to start in the second round, ladies and gentlemen. It is the same as in the first round, ladies and gentlemen. Mattia Vezzola calling no elbow foul. What is the referee's call? We have 1 elbow foul, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Mattia Vezzola was already able to postpone the pin just enough to make Oleksandr foul out. And as I said, what he's doing, this turning the quick match into a long game is something that definitely is going to favor him. That is his game plan. He knows that he has the superior endurance. Oleksandr might have a slight edge when it comes to maximum force output, but Vezzola is a smart man, besides being a strong man, and he wants to play around with everything that he can. And again seems to be Oleksandr that takes the center, slowly coming down towards his side of the table. But Vezzola is collecting himself, tightening up the angle, and now it seems Oleksandr is stuck in the middle, and maybe it's about to make, yes, and Vezzola is coming through.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1-1 is the score. Unbelievable match. These guys are giving everything they have in their toolbox. Mattia, we saw Mattia, Gabor, actually in the build-up to this fight, training on his rotational power and on his pronation. I mean, I cannot say that he top rolled, but it looked like Mattia top rolled in the end, man. And you know, I seen him do the pronational back pressure and pulling back and keeping his angle tight. So, I mean, this shows itself that if you put focus on something, it really, really pays off. What do you say?
Yeah, Vezzola told me that he wants to use his pronation and wants to make this the deciding factor. He told me that he really likes pulling against top rollers, and especially with his right hand, because he has a strong wrist. He doesn't have the amount of side pressure that he possesses on the left hand, but his pronation seems to be more intact. and he wants to use this for his advantage because he thinks in the past few months he developed something when it comes to hand control that he hasn't used before, and which kind of can make his right arm game way more effective and way more dangerous. The prodigy coming up to Vezzola, wiping the tears and the sweat off of his face as they're setting up for the third round. There is 1-1. Let's see if this is going to be around endurance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third round is about to start. We saw first round going to Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi, second round going to Mattia Vezzola. 1-1 is the score. Third round is gonna start and we go to the straps, ladies and gentlemen.
Both guys likes to be in the strap. Probably they both favor the straps. I kind of don't even understand why they don't go to the straps right away without any hesitation. Maybe they wanted to have a slightly longer break between the second and the third round. Oleksandr probably has to somehow reinvent himself. The game plan that worked in the first two rounds, at least 1.5 rounds, he was very, very close in the second round also to pin Vezzola. It is probably not going to work again. So either he has to come up and press down right away, or come up with something entirely unexpected. Vezzola setting up really high. He wants to crush down on the pronation of Bezkorovainyi. But Oleksandr probably has something under his sleeve. And there's the ready go. Vezzola is equaling Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi at the center of the table. Oleksandr fouling out. One elbow foul. Oleksandr asking the referee to tighten the strap a little bit. Alex still seems to be very explosive and very dangerous off the go. I'm very happy to see him possessing an obviously improved level of endurance compared to his earlier showings. Vezzola looking at the referee, setting up to explode. He wants to be the first off the go.
Hands are getting close, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Oleksandr hitting sideways. Mattia's arm opened. Oleksandr in a very good position. Going on the rotation of Mattia is very close.
Oleksandr 1 millimeter away from the pin pad. Is he going to be able?
What a stop, ladies and gentlemen. Still no pin. What is the referee's call?
What happened? What happened? We are very, very...
Second elbow foul, my God. What a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable.
Oleksandr just lost a round that he was 1 millimeter away from winning. This has to be a tough one, a really tough one. Victor Kera, main referee, is telling me that yes, it was about 1 millimeter away from the pin pad. That has to be a hard pill to swallow for the Ukrainian gentleman right here. Oleksandr already proved for us that he does not only seem to be the one that is in the game, he seems to be the one that is actually stronger. He can not only step up to the challenge, he is the one that is leading the way. He is the one that is the more dominant when it comes to sheer strength and force output out of the two gentlemen up on the stage. Vezzola is also looking really, really tired. The prodigy Kersten Mercieka is massaging his forearm. This is only the third match of the evening, and we just don't see any dominant performances over any other athlete up on the stage. All three of the matches so far are very, very level, very equal. A battle of equal forces up there at the table. Mattia Vezzola has the platform elevated for him in order to be able to crush down on the pronation of his opponent more effectively, to be able to set up even higher, to have an even deeper grip so that he can utilize his wrist flexion strength, which is something that is quite unparalleled. The low hand top roll of Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi doesn't seem to be enough to open it up, but surprisingly, it seems he doesn't even really need to do that, because he can match the Italian gentleman in sheer side pressure. Something that I, who know both of the gentlemen pretty well and pulled them both, was not expecting. I was expecting Vezzola to win when it comes to hook pulling and Oleksandr to win when it comes to hand control. But Oleksandr is proving us all, at least me, proving me wrong, because he already pinned at least once, but I would say almost twice, Vezzola in, straight in a hook. Vezzola collecting all his might to focus it into a sideways attack. Oleksandr is trying to keep the pronation intact, and they're again stuck in the center of the table now, slightly towards Vezzola's side, and Vezzola can finish it finally. This might be the point where we lost Oleksandr. It's the third pin of the evening for Vezzola, which is actually the second pin of the evening for Vezzola, but it's the third win of the evening for Vezzola, since Oleksandr fouled out in the second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want a big round of applause. No, not even one day out, he took the match today. Ladies and gentlemen, big applause, Oleksandr Bezkorovainyi. Thank you, Alex. It was an amazing match, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of our third match, Mattia Vezzola from Italy. Italian president is proud. Frank smiling, everybody in the crowd. Mattia, brother, we started the build-up. Until yesterday, we did not know you're gonna pull. And in the end, you pulled the low hand top roll, but then every round ended somehow in a hook, and then you rotated in the end, same as Oleksandr. I mean, what did you expect when his name was mentioned? You pulled him before, you lost actually at the tournament. Now you got your revenge today. What do you have to say about this match and about your opponent and about Nemanja as well?
First of all, I have nothing but respect for my opponent, Oleksandr. He accepted this match with such a short notice. Today he accepted the match, so really it's crazy. We have to thank him, and he brought an incredible shape for such a short notice. So really, I want to thank him, first of all, and I did not expect him to be so strong inside. Oh my God, such an incredible fight. So really, I have nothing but respect for him. And I want to thank you, Alexa, for this incredible show. I want to thank the Italian Federation, my dad, my family, my girlfriend for the support. Really. Are you not entertained, guys?
Thank you, Mattia. It is always a pleasure to watch you. Hey, 2-0 in Lamp Pride, man. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for our match 3 winner, Mattia Vezzola. Take a look at this, take a look at this. Maybe in the future, eh? Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mattia Vezzola.